Gus the Pilgrim Turkey. Gus loved being a turkey. He gobbled with friends, got to wear whatever he pleased, and was fed almost every time he turned around. Life was fabulous. He was young, so every day was a new adventure. In the spring, there were tasty young bugs everywhere. Gus looked stunning in his Easter hat. Summer was even better. He danced in the sprinkler wearing shorts with crazy patterns, and he loved the way the sun glinted off the farm pond. Now it was autumn. Gus wrapped a jaunty orange scarf around his neck. I can't wait for winter, he gobbled to his friends. I want to make snow turkeys and wear my new woolly cap. I've even bought a tuxedo for New Year's Eve. I wouldn't worry about New Year's, said the horse. No, barked the dog. Turkeys don't make it to January around here. Why not? Gus asked. Thanksgiving, that's why not, the goose explained. Gus was puzzled, so his friends told him about the pilgrims traveling the wild seas by ship, looking for a safe place to live. No problem. They told him about Native Americans who helped the pilgrims. No problem. They told him about the big feast. No problem. I love food, Gus reminded them. So, what's on the menu? His friends told him. Big problem. No way, Gus shouted. It's true, said the rooster. Well, I'll leave. I'll just pack up and leave, Gus said. And go where? The horse asked. Gus looked up. A V of birds was flying by. South, he declared. Other birds go south for the winter. Maybe that's why they don't end up as dinner. His friends weren't sure about his plan, but they helped Gus fill his backpack with seed corn and his favorite outfits. Good luck, they shouted as he gobbled out of sight. A turkey ran away before Thanksgiving Day. Said he, they'll make a meal out of me if I should stay. Poor Gus's drumsticks got rather tired, but he kept walking. After several weeks, he saw decorations, pilgrims, pumpkins, and turkeys. South, he knew he had to go farther south. When Gus crossed the Rio Grande into Mexico, he felt safer. They didn't have Thanksgiving in Mexico, did they? Gus came to a town and heard music playing nearby. He followed the happy sound to a party. Cake was on the table. Hanging from a tree was a large, colorful bird. A turkey? He couldn't tell because it wouldn't stay still. The children were beating it with a stick. The horror! The horror! Suddenly the bird broke. A cascade of candy fell out. Gus gasped in relief. It wasn't a turkey. It wasn't even a real bird. Still, he couldn't stay in a place where people would whack any kind of bird, feathered or fake. A turkey ran away before Thanksgiving Day. Said he, they'll make a meal out of me if I should stay. Gus kept moving. Thanksgiving or not, everywhere he went, people looked at him with hungry eyes. Was there no safe place for a turkey? At last he grew so tired he couldn't walk anymore. So Gus found a ship heading south and tiptoed on board late one night. He hopped into a lifeboat and settled down for a long journey. He was safe. Phew! For the first few days he enjoyed sailing. But soon the seas grew rough, and it got cold, and then colder, and then the coldest Gus had ever felt. He tugged on his warm, woolly hat. Then one day the ship stopped. Gus poked his head out. The coast was clear. He ran to the rail and looked around. Snow, snow, and more snow. The ship was surrounded by snow and ice. Gus gobbled in astonishment. Unfortunately, someone heard him. "Hey, would you get a load of that?" said a man in a parka. "I can't believe it. It's Thanksgiving, and right on board we have a real live turkey, just in time for our Thanksgiving feast." Gus grabbed his backpack and charged down the gangplank. "A turkey ran away before Thanksgiving Day. Said he, they'll make a meal out of me if I should stay." But where could he hide? In this white wilderness, he stood out like a sore thumb. Suddenly, he saw a whole bunch of other birds. He dove into them. "Excuse me, let me by, so sorry." Still, he didn't feel safe. All the others were wearing black and white. He needed a way to blend in. Quickly, Gus pulled out his tuxedo and threw it on. There was a lot of shouting, but now the men couldn't see Gus. Finally, they headed back to the ship. "What was that about?" the other birds asked. "And who are you?" "I'm Gus," Gus explained, "and I've traveled for a long, long time trying to find a place where I can be safe." "Is a killer whale after you?" asked the nearest penguin. "No, no," Gus replied. "It's nothing like that. It's, well, it's Thanksgiving." "Thanksgiving," chorused the penguins. "Sure, it's a holiday about pilgrims and stuff," Gus said. "Penguins?" they asked. "No, pilgrims," Gus said slowly. Then he explained. The penguins listened. "So, the pilgrims left their homes because they didn't feel safe there, and they traveled by ship for a long, long time?" said the penguin leader. Gus nodded. All the penguins turned to eye the nearby ship. "Welcome, Pilgrim," the head penguin announced. "But I'm not a—" Gus began, and then he looked at the natives in his strange new home. They looked like they'd help him survive. "Maybe I am a pilgrim," Gus said at last. "I sure have a lot to be thankful for." "Then how about a feast?" asked his new friends. Gus grinned. "No problem." "A turkey ran away before Thanksgiving Day. Said he, they'll make a meal out of me if I should stay." The end.